Hello and welcome to the Harmony SMP. My name is Weird and Bearded, and today we are back at the Iron Farm. Because finally, all the villagers are in place. I realise it's been a while since I was last here, so we'll do a quick recap of what's been done so far. So this is all of the lower redstone. So we have our sets of villagers in there, and a zombie on the other side. And when this redstone gets activated, the zombie is going to drop down to scare the villagers. It's very difficult to see what's going on. I'm going to go into camera mode. So this zombie will drop down, scaring these villagers. So if they're in bed, they'll wake up. And then they're going to start moving up, which we haven't built yet. But then behind here is just a timing system for how all of that works. We also, of course, got all of the zombies in place, and we finished with building a villager breeder. And as you might be able to tell, the villagers are now all in place, so we can finally get going with this. It took so long. 120 villagers all in place. So, I've got some YouTube to catch up on because I've just got back from a weekend away. So I'm going to take the breeder down, start building everything up. I don't know how far we're going to get in this first time lapse. Maybe we'll go to the first floor. Maybe we'll go all the way to where I need to get more mobs in place. I'll see where the mood takes me. But I think I'm going to grab some rockets and then get going. progress has been made. Quite significant progress. So I took it up to where we next need to put in some zombies. It's going to be the last bit of mob movement. We'll get onto that in a bit. In previous versions of the Iron Amphitheatre, the iron golems have been killed up top, and then we had a lot of storage just coming down the middle. As you can see, it's now a bit different. So the iron golems are going to fall down here. They're going to end up in the lava. They're going to die beneath those carpets, those hoppers that take their stuff and spit them out into a water stream, which is going to go off this way into our storage area. There's also a lever here to turn the farm on, which I'm not going to pull now because it will almost certainly break things. But all the redstone stuff is now in place. If I head up to the top, all of the dispensers have now been filled with water buckets. It should be set up perfectly. So we've got a water column here that gets changed to a bubble column, which turns on the observers, activating the dispensers, putting water here, making the villagers rise up. There is also an observer this side, which sends out a sticky piston for a couple of pulses. And what that does is push out the sticky piston down there, pushing a bit of glass across so that they get caught, and they will be looking into this space, where there will be another zombie to scare them again, and above them we'll actually have space for iron golems to spawn in, which currently, when they get scared, there is nowhere for the iron golems to spawn. So, what I need to do now is head back down to here. You may remember from last time, push, there is a zombie spawner on the other side of this. So they'll spawn in, we'll get carved pumpkins on their head. They will then be sent back up here. And then we're going to make a little platform up at the top, collect them all together until we've got 40, and then put them all into the chambers. I think I might do this as another time-lapse. This is going to be a very time-lapse heavy episode, but to be fair, there's quite a lot to get done. Those zombies went in surprisingly smoothly. They're all holding mangrove trapdoors because that's how they fell down. They fell in where there were mangrove trapdoors and then they picked them up before I could. But that's not a problem. They're all in. Now, you'd have thought that with 200 mobs put in place and 960 dispensers crafted, placed and filled, the fiddly bit would be over. But you'd be wrong, because while the spawning floor itself is nice and easy, because it's just a floor, everything above that is just more fiddly stuff. I mean, this is a great farm once you've got it running, but it's such a pain to build. Still, one last section, and then the farm should be complete. It is done. I can't believe how long this has taken. This has been a few days of work getting all of this put together. It is such a fiddly build. But finally, we've got the last bit in. This is the spawning area. So the iron golems will spawn down on the wooden platform. They'll get caught in the bubble streams, brought up to the top, and then sent down into the lava. That is very much in theory, because I have yet to test this farm. I also haven't checked on the schematic verifier if everything's in place properly. Let's find out. So we should see the water systems come into play. That is good. They've gone up to the top. Will we see any iron golems? Oh, possibly not actually. There may still be iron golems in the area that I need to kill off. So I am going to turn... I'm not saying anything yet. Yeah, I'm going to turn things off. Look around for any iron golems down below. And then we'll give this another test. Hopefully, that should be the only issue. I was indeed correct. I've also now got some mining fatigue, which is a pain, but I don't need to mine for a while. So I went and tried to find my bow. Apparently I don't have a good bow, so I just got myself an okay bow. And, oh, you're down there. Hi. You can't get to me, so... There's a few golems about. I'm just going to go around and kill them all. I think I've now got them all. Let's try this again. Oh! I don't know why they're... We had someone appearing up there before things even got started. That's weird. Do we get any more up there? How did you guys end up there? I'm not seeing anything. We could... Oh, yeah, there's one. This seems to be working. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Oh, this is glorious. I think it's safe to say we're going to have a good supply of iron from this. There is, however, one major issue. So if we go into free cam mode and fly up, you can see iron golem spawning, going okay. Seems to be a bit bare around this corner. I will search to see if I can find any more iron golems down below. However, we don't actually have a storage system built yet. So I might have to do my own, because currently all the iron is being thrown away. So let's get a little storage system in. Just a temporary one, as there's going to be a bigger one built in the future. So this is excellent. I am into the last 3 minutes of a 10-minute test, and I thought this would be a great time to explain fully what's going on. So I'm going to go into camera mode just so I can move around a bit easier, and we'll talk about this farm and hopefully time it so that I can turn the farm off and we can see what the results are. So you flick this lever to turn things on. It pushes down a redstone block. This activates all 4 corners of the farm, which means that when you turn it off, you need to wait for each side to finish up. They should all be going at the same time. When it is active, through various slime block and timing wizardry, it will turn this column of water into a bubble column, which activates all of these water dispensers. Also, there is a zombie just there that gets moved down to frighten the villagers. Normally, this is nothing, except at night time, it will wake them up. Once they get to the top, then we have another timing circuit. It will push a glass block out underneath their feet, where what's active at the moment. There we go. So the glass block gets pushed out. They get scared by another zombie, but this time there is enough space above them for them to spawn in an iron golem. So you can see on this floor, iron golems will appear and then immediately start moving upwards because their heads will be in bubble columns. I'm not sure you really see them appear all that well. Yeah, they're just floating straight up to the top. But it does mean that up above, as you can see, we have an awful lot of iron golems. So it runs on just over a 30-second timer. Which means that every 30 seconds, realistically, we can get 40 iron golems in. Because there's 10 units per side, 4 sides to the square. They all get pushed into this area where they end up with their heads in lava. They will die, their items will fall at their feet into these hoppers. They go into a load of auto droppers, which then get pushed along into a very temporary item collection system. I should probably put a torch down there at least. We have a load of slabs down here to stop them from spawning at the bottom, but then once the redstone circuit reaches the end, it will then activate the next line, which we're going to see right there. And the entire thing loops. I've timed that fairly well. I've got 15 seconds left. Let's go back to me. I've just been standing here watching them die. Now, once the lever is flicked, we are going to have to wait for everything to finish up. We'll wait for the last iron golems to die off. Now. So it looks like that was the last one. Which means we can now head over to that janky little storage system and see what we got from a 10-minute test. Now, there's going to be stuff in the top chests as well. So I'm just going to consolidate all the iron in there. And we may as well see what we're doing with poppies. Who knows, people might want to use this for a little red dye farm. I doubt anything's got to the end just yet. So let's gather all the poppies into here. So 5 stacks and a bit of poppies in 10 minutes is not terrible. But of course, what we're here for is the iron. And it's not looking too bad for 10 minutes. So that's what, 21 stacks and 3. 21 stacks and 3 iron in 10 minutes. I think this server is going to do okay for iron. But in the meantime, that is all I have time for. I'm so glad this thing is finally finished. If you like the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe I'll put a world download for this farm in the description. We'll find out. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. That's not my sign-off at all. What's my sign-off? I'll see you all next time.